I remember when we were strong. The Viridian Outriders, a bold fraternity dedicated to preserving the safety of the needful traveler. Within my lifetime, I have seen us fall so far, replaced by the steel and gold of a king I once called friend. New threats arise, though, and his cutlass and coin may not be enough to save our people. We're still here, though. Less than we were. But we're here, and we'll help where we can. That is my oath. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, the Outriders arrive at the Portsmouth Outpost and determine a path to Scales Right. Thank you to our backers, Rin, Savani, and Two Nerds in a Pod for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on the network. But with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down Another Path. It's evening in Portsmouth, and we find our heroes at the back door to the Portly Puffin, trying to seek entrance to the local Outriders outpost. Who's knocking?
I do it.
Probably Cecil, yeah.
The door opens up, and Cecil, roll me a d6.
4.
You've met Percival, who is the individual who opens the door a handful of times. They're a human, probably got about 10 years on you. Clearly older guy, and he definitely wears the years a bit more than even Cecil does. You know that Percival lived a kind of a merc life for most of their time, even before they entered the Outriders. Outriders was kind of like almost a retirement gig for him. Oh, I didn't expect to see anyone here tonight.
Percival, pleasure.
Cecil Stiles.
The one and only.
What are you doing here?
You know, busy man about town.
At your age?
They pulled me off of the desk.
Condolences. Hello, I'm Percival. Y'all are...
This is Harper Talk.
Howdy.
The sulking one is Arabin Cronin. And we have initiated the metal turtle.
Tortoise.
But it isn't Tooth in the Outrider laws. Like, we found a way around it, so Ignis absolutely has a sash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No,
it's a headband.
If a tortoise were to wear a sash, would it be like this or like this?
or around the shell long ways.
That's what I'm thinking. It's really inconvenient.
I was picturing TMNT headband right on the forehead.
See, that's also good.
I was thinking TMNT like sash that they have.
Like
good.
There's no wrong answer.
Audience, we'll let you decide.
Mm-hmm.
Get at us in the Discord.
Or on Blue Sky.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Tortoise.
Percival snags your steeds and drops them off at the stable and invites you into easily the smallest outpost you have ever been in. Probably about the size of a classroom. There are 3 desks positioned at the walls that are not occupied by the stairway down.
What's down?
Well, you're in the basement of the inn.
Nice.
Effectively.
Oh, okay.
So you walk down a set of stairs, and it looks like this has just been kind of cordoned off from the larger cellar.
This is it?
This is it.
Oh.
The illustrious Portsmouth Outpost.
How many of there are you now here? 3? 4?
5.
5?
Cecil, no check is required at that. You remember a couple of years ago, Portsmouth's charter was brought up for potential consolidation. It hasn't happened yet. As long as the Knight Captain, Spy Captain, and Major Domo can be filled, an outpost can technically run. But they can all basically pitch in to do the duties of a High Captain. You know that Percival is the Major Domo here.
Gotcha. Well, Percival, We have a bit of work to do here. We'd like to keep a bit of a low profile. Obviously, there's only 5 of you, so 3 more Outriders is a lot.
Whatever you need to do, that's fine. I'm not here to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. If you don't mind me asking, I've been in the area a while. What are y'all here to do? Where is your intended destination?
We need to track down and speak with Basil.
The guy that broke out of Scales, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
He shakes his head and moves on over to what you assume is his desk. And he reaches underneath and pulls out a bottle. I used to be a guard over there back in the day.
Did you take an arrow to the knee?
I wish.
Nice.
We've been sent. You've heard of the discoveries out near Bering at this point, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it in the newsletter or something.
Yes.
Sorry. Chase just made canon the fact that there is a secret internal Outriders newsletter. I just need to pause on that for a moment.
That's just Lodge.
Yeah, that's just Lodge. I've got the bulletin sitting it's like a little
damn it.
newspaper.
Outrider Quarterly?
There was a full-page feature of when Harper won the fish chili cook-off.
Oh, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
It wasn't front page, but it was in the midst of everything, of, the goings on.
Yeah. Pegasus Quarterly?
Pegasus Quarterly is very good. But it is typically the reason, Cecil, you absolutely have received Pegasus Quarterly constantly.
Absolutely.
You do have to sign up for it, which is why the other 2 of you have not gotten it.
That makes sense.
Yes. There's a whole process. But the discoveries around Bering, Percival, have led us, honestly, in the direction of Scales Right. There's some prisoner connections with the underside and some of the other goings on. So Basil is where we're starting to get a bit of information. Just need to speak with him is our goal, to get some information. With the war about to start, we're trying to handle the undersigned problem ourselves.
I tell you, I don't often love being this far out of the loop on things, but I tell you, I am glad to be a little bit away from the borders these days.
Yes, we just had a battalion come into town before we left. It's happening.
Deception check.
I didn't lie.
You did a little bit. You did enough.
It doesn't matter.
The discoveries really don't have that much to do with what's going on up here. And you did imply that they were connected.
I mean, the undersigned return from the prisoners.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Undercity.
Yeah. The Undercity and the other thing. Cecil, unknowingly is, or not unknowingly, Cecil is suggesting that it's just one thing. To be able to skim over details.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because Cecil's persuasion and deception skills are the same.
Okay. Which is?
+8. So that's a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Percival shrugs. I don't know, we don't get much any kind of business out here, which is honestly fine by me. At some point, they'll consolidate us down, and I don't want that to happen. This is a good and storied outpost with a deep and rich history. We used to be located down actually in one of the, under one of the docks. You could still see part of it, but if we had a big flood back in... Oh, geez, Cecil, what was it? You remember at that point, probably 23 or 24?
I believe it was 23 years ago, yes, when the flood came in.
And it
just wiped out
we
the
lost some
bottom of
folk.
it.
It was a real, anyways.
I mean, they were talking about consolidating then, but when that happened, and it would have been so expensive to replace it. Anyway.
Yeah. So what you're looking at there, if you're looking for Basil specifically, he's he's got his crew honestly not too far from here. If you take the north road, you pass Scales Right, but if you get into the woods just north of town or just north of Scales Right, they've made their camp somewhere up there. That's going to be your best bet. I don't really know much beyond that. I typically stick to town.
That's fair.
I'm not sure what they're going to want from you in order to get whatever information you're looking for.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, that's going to be if you're talking about at Basil, that's what you're going to want to do. Talk to him, impress him.
Has he been trouble for the town if he's got a group?
Not yet. He was honestly more trouble on the road, but they're lying low. You don't want to go back in. Not that there's enough guards there to really send an out party to go and get them.
There's not many guards left?
It's hard to know exactly. It's not like they're broadcasting their numbers, but
sure.
I've been talking with the warden up there. She's Red Dragonborn, Karagal. Now she's a bit of a hard nose, but I tell you, she's the real deal. She's good stuff. Honestly, she'd be good outrider stock if she got her stick out of her ass.
We could say that about a lot of outriders. They've still got sticks quite far up their asses.
Yeah, but there are sticks. Well, we're going to actually go ahead and skip on past that. But the point is, she's loyal, but she's loyal to the crown.
When Cecil said the stick up the ass part, Arabin sort of furrowed his brow because that's how he sees Cecil.
Oh, absolutely.
If Cecil says somebody else has the stick up their ass, it's true. They've got a real stick up their ass about sticks up their ass.
Yeah, it's best as I can tell, they've got about 20. Now, that does include a handful of powerful arcanists, but mostly just rank and file guards. I keep an eye on it. They come into town on off weekends. I've seen, like I said, a total of about 20 folks in and out of town.
Do you know which arcane folk they still have over there?
I don't. I know for sure they've got an abjurist and a necromancer. That's about it.
Do they have a diviner?
Diviner. Haven't seen one way or another. Haven't heard either, Even though I used to work there, it's not like they like me asking a whole lot of questions.
Yes, it is a prison, and they like their secrets.
They do, especially once they've had, a spate of breakouts like they have, but lower guard numbers are going to lead to that.
It sure is. Right, I guess we'll go try to speak with Basil and go from there.
Right.
Who's mayor about these parts?
Mayor? That's going to be Thicket Plumnewt.
Holy shit, Chase. Yo. One more again?
Thicket Plumnewt.
She thickened on my plum until I knew. I figured I'd get on it before Justin did. I need you to know, Chase, that it's such a 10 out of 10 name. It's the only reason why I had to sully it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because it was too good.
No, I get it. It was
too good of a name.
I get it. I'm not happy about it.
God damn.
I'm going to be thinking about thickening on my plum till I knew for a long time.
Oh, man. Percival, does Mayor Thicket possess any actual power here?
I mean, among the city? Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Ran an incredibly strong campaign, very big education focus. And you know what? Schools are a little better. Started paying the teacher a little more, got some, another teacher in. It's going pretty good.
Love to hear it. Ryan, I'm trying real hard to not make a Board of Education joke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway. So, Chase, how big is Portsmouth? How many people, roughly?
Probably 150.
Okay.
Oh, this is like a fishing town.
It's
yeah.
It is a village verging on city.
Yeah, so 50 people voted for this mayor.
Yeah.
And 20 guards.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe some of the guards. Certainly the warden. Warden lives here, but most of the guards actually live at the prison. They got barracks up there. They come down. There's probably a couple upstairs right now having a little after work bev for the weekend. It's not like they can get up to the seat real quick unless they make like a whole thing out of it.
Sure, yes.
Spend most of your weekend traveling, and that's no fun.
No, nobody wants that. Well, I suppose we'll go see what Basil wants and see if we can get some more information out of him for the good of the cause. Anything else about town we need to know, Percival?
Not really. There's a decent market during the day if you're looking to do some very basic resupply. The puffin upstairs is, got some warm beds if you want to break from the hard floor. Or if you're looking to get out into bandit country tonight, I'm sure things will be hopping out there too.
What do you think, Harper, Arabin?
I see no reason to approach an armed bandit camp in the dead of night. That's probably something we can make approach on in the morning for, parlay of some kind.
Sure.
But if we go out there at night, could be kind of fun.
Well, I guess there are one of two ways of approaching Basil, and that's either stick or carrot. So, I guess we should decide on carrot by day or stick by night.
I'm just saying, if we make a name for ourselves over there, it might get us an inn.
Carrot by Name, Stick by Night was my debut album.
I did feel really good saying it.
Yeah, it's a good.
Okay.
That's episode title material right there, sir. Yeah.
Sticking on my carrot.
Sticking on my plum newt.
Till I thick it. I apologize for what I've done. Actually, no, I don't. I take it back.
No, we don't. No apologies. Absolutely not.
Not for this
I
one.
could have pulled any name from my list of names.
It's a good name.
A really good name is the problem.
It is.
I'll tell you, Chase, it's so good of a name, I feel intimidated by it as a writer,
Excellent.
Like, I think that's why I had to break it down, because I felt intimidated.
We had to bring it down to our level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she thick it, though.
So what? Let's get some rooms. Let's get some food in our bellies. Take the night and plan, or go on a fucking raid. I don't know. I guess we got to figure out what the best course of action is here.
Let's sleep on it for a night, and we'll go talk to Basil in the morning, in the light of day. Try to do it the right way, because we just want information. We're not here to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I suppose. But in my experience, bandits will talk more when they respect somebody.
Oh, well, we could always kill one of his blokes.
In daylight?
Yeah, walk on up to them, say hello. If they're not nice, and we shoot somebody down and say hello again.
Damn. Listen, I know I was talking about stick by night, but damn.
I don't usually attack unless attacked first.
But you want to go by night and
ambush unsuspecting bandits?
Oh, no. They ambush us, and it's the worst mistake they ever make. Possibly the last.
Hey, Arabin, we've been making a lot of headway. I forgot how scary you are sometimes. Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's the first time Harper has ever heard Arabin laugh.
All right. So, 3 of you head upstairs to the Puffin?
Yeah, get some rooms at the Puffin.
Mostly, I just want to see Chase describe the Puffin.
Well, it's a loud night at the Puff. As you walk on in. Like I said, this is a town of 150 people, and there's 20 people in here, so it is a significant fraction of the city's population hanging out. You see a smattering of villagers around, true to Percival's word, you do see some, it looks like guards wearing, like tabards, but absolutely off-duty, knocking back a few, as well as a couple of merchants hanging out as well. They're dressed a little bit more fancily, for lack of a better word. But there is an individual behind the bar, a dwarven individual.
Arabin's gonna be looking at the guards and looking at what their faces are doing and to himself kind of half covered, mimicking the face and then going back to normal and mimicking the face.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, you see there's a couple of different guards, different builds there.
I'll go up to the barkeep. Yes, hello. We've just arrived in town, and we'd like a couple of rooms for the night, if possible. We might be here a few days. We're not sure yet.
Oh, sure. Yeah, a couple of rooms for you. Sure thing. Let me take a look here. What kind of rooms you looking for? You need just a single bed kind of deal?
It just three would be good. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. We'll do 3.
I can get you taken care of. It'll be 3 golden knights a piece.
Yeah, we got some petty cash from.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah.
Well, I have some here too. So
Yeah.
Good. I'm broke, so.
You would have been given. I will say you would have been given probably 15 gold a piece to cover sundry expenses.
sure.
Every little bit counts.
I'm glad we can expense our
The rooms.
I'm glad we can expense our room and board for high treason.
Exactly. Hey, look. Honestly, it's the least Luca can do.
If we're going to commit regicide, we should at least get free lunch.
Right. Bare minimum.
I feel like Arabin has a lot of money.
I've got a big number written down on my sheet too, I think.
I'm in double digits money. I'm the only motherfucker who buys things around here.
It's true.
I buy things for my tea shop and then I don't have to worry about money.
In any case, Reed slides 3 keys across the bar. The dwarf introduces themselves as Reed.
Hi, Reed.
Hello.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll go bunk out for the night.
Yep. The bar continues to be a hoppin' place until probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and eventually does settle down.
Damn.
It's a fishing village. There's literally nothing else to do.
Cecil, are you gonna put your alarm up on your room like I assume you typically do?
Yes.
Do you tend to make that audible or the mental alarm?
In town it would be mental.
Okay.
Outside at camping it would be audible.
Okay. I fired up the shell phones again for our venture. So I'm gonna give you a shell phone and Arabin a shell phone.
Because you'll be with one of us.
Probably. Or I'm just loud enough on my own that should shit happen, I can signal or Ignis can signal, and
we can stay up all night chatting on the phone. Kicking our legs, talking about boys.
Shit happens. Just in case some weird shit happens, we have ways of keeping safe.
Sure. Yes, good idea. Show me how to use it again, Hopper.
You literally just talk into it.
But
I made it about as user-friendly for you specifically as I could fathom.
why does my shell phone look so much simpler than Arabin's shell phone?
Mine's got games. They're not gonna figure it out, Harper.
Oh, okay. No. You see, now it's my turn. Arabin, what games are on the shell phone?
Well, you have Upset Tortoise.
Well, that's one.
Yep.
You've got
Flappy Sparrow.
Flappy Sparrow. You've got Wordle.
Yep. Vegetable Samurai.
And Dumb Chicken Game.
Chicken Game.
Yeah.
In this universe, it is literally just called Chicken Game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cecil's shell phone has the equivalent of like parental controls on
It's
it.
the jitterbug.
It's 100% the jitterbug phone. Cecil attaches it to their hip.
Yes.
Puts it in a little hip case because Cecil also has a cell phone belt holder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the things that are active right now are Cecil, you still have the Mind Sharpener.
Thank you.
I've got my spear tricked out with the returning gauntlet, and then I have the shell phones.
Cool.
And Arabin realizes that guarding the door is a good idea, so he's gonna take out Crunchwrap and say, Vivios, guard the door.
Yeah, Ignis gets put up on guard duty. Hith.
Good.
Because nobody gonna come into a room if there's just a big old snake inside.
Someone's gonna sneak up to the door, open it, and be like, I got this motherfucker. And they open the door and just take one silent look at Crunchwrap, like looking up at this giant snake and being like, never mind.
Foolproof. How much of that room does Crunchwrap take up? Because Crunchwrap is
He big,
Large. Yeah.
yeah, quite big.
but I feel like he can coil.
Absolutely.
Well, he
It-
can rap.
So it's been said.
Griff, that gives me advantage on check con saves.
The Mind Sharpener.
Yes.
You
Advantage on
can,
concentrations.
you can burn a charge of the item to succeed a concentration check should you fail.
Just to succeed.
Yes,
Okay.
however, it
Auto
takes your
succeed.
reaction.
Okay.
You get 4 charges.
Nice. A day?
Restores 1d4 at dawn.
Sweet.
So if we get into the next day, we'll,
Deal with that then.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Chase, need us to keep vamping?
No, you're good. I've been waiting for you guys.
Oh, okay. You looked like you were looking at your notes.
Nope.
Puffing on my porter till I knew.
Is this my legacy now? Is this what's gonna follow me? 'Cause I didn't intend for that.
The three of you awake the next day. A quiet night has passed, and you are more well rested than you have been in the past couple of days. You get a reasonable breakfast downstairs. Reed mentions the payment from last night. That'll be good for another day, but if you're going to be in town much longer, we'll have to talk about re-upping.
Understood. Appreciate it, Reed.
Of course. And they slide you over a hearty breakfast of eggs and sausage and some toast.
I dig the Cholula out of Ignis for my eggs.
Absolutely.
Fantasy Cholula.
No.
Just Cholula. You all set out north for to go and find the bandit den of Basil.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't... Boys,
What's our strategy here? I
Here,
mean,
I'm
like,
gonna take off the D&D character. Hello, boys.
Okay,
What
hey.
the hell are we doing?
great question.
I would love to know.
I assume we're just gonna go there. And if anybody gives us trouble, we give them trouble right back.
See, I was frankly ready to leave this to the Charisma boys.
Oh, I'm ready to
but,
leave
like-
it to Timmy 56.
Because, like, we could go in with a show of force. I could do an old scam where, like, I enchant an item and give it to him, and then it wears off after a day, you know? Like,
But as a bandit, how scared would you be if these guys rolled up, killed one of your men, and then raised his soul out of his body?
see, that feels like the nuclear option. Like,
Yes, that is the vodka option.
that is the vodka option. Like, I figure if we're going into this, we need some kind of leverage, right? We need a
'Cause
bribe.
we want information about how he got out, and
Right.
if it's still there. If we can use that, and we're either going to decide after we get that information or don't get it, whether that's what we want to do, or if we want to go back in and crack the skulls of a couple of those guards there, take their place, and go back in.
It's a weird turn of events where we're parlaying with the bandits and basement taking the prison guards, but here we are. I mean, like, I doubt we'll be able to appeal to the bandit criminals sense of morals. Or maybe we can appeal to the fact that we're trying to break into this prison. Maybe we can say we're trying to break someone out and, you know, try to ally with his sort of moral standards of fuck the prison.
Yes, that was mostly my idea was, yes, appeal to the, hey, it's in your best interest to fuck over the prison.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we're going to do that. And go from there. All right, let's go do that. Come along.
That's a good place to start. And then Arabin, if it takes a real turn, then you can threaten to kill someone.
All right, I can live with that.
Cecil, do you have the ability to bring Archie here?
Yes, but it would not. I would not be able to do much else big after.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, push comes to shove between Archie, Ignis, and Crunchwrap. We can double our numbers really quickly, should we need to.
Don't forget about Timmy 56.
Is that the Haunter?
No, that's Summon Aberration.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yes, because you could.
We have a lot of fucking summons, so.
We sure do.
Timmy 56. That's right.
I can do it once.
Right. Well, okay. Good thing to keep in our back pocket. All right. Who do we... Cecil, you think you're going to take lead on this?
Yes.
How far of a trip is it?
The forest is, I mean, to get to the actual forest itself will take you the morning. As far as where in the forest and finding, that's going to be another question entirely.
Can I talk to Cecil on the way?
Certainly.
I would like to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cecil, you got a moment?
Yes, what's up? What do you need?
What do you know about otherworldly beings?
Quite a bit. I've specialized in studying some of that.
Well, I've got some things I've been thinking about.
Sure.
You know that the Penumbra wants the core?
Cecil's eyes just briefly flash down out of instinct. Is Arabin wearing the amulet?
No.
No. Okay.
It's in his bag, which is away.
No. Yes. Penumbra wants the core, and amulet in the bag means can't hear, right?
I don't believe so.
Great. Yes, you told us. Penumbra wants the core. That's how you hopefully get out of your contract, or at least get to keep your powers.
I could do that. Or, if we don't want it to fall to him, I could, in theory, find power from another source.
Yes, we've spoken about that. You could probably take an oath, or find another patron to bind your skills to.
I could
don't
give
know how
it to...
quick or easily it would be, but...
I could give it to Carrie.
Yes.
Or... And Arabin pulls out from his pocket something that he had dug out earlier. I have this coin. It has this guy I met. His name is Ken on it. I don't know much about him, but he seems like he might have some sort of power.
Ken? I don't,
Yeah, I met him during the fish chili cook-off. He seemed to be everywhere at once, and then he gave me this coin. And I hand it to Cecil.
I take the coin and I look at it. Did I see Ken?
You didn't interact with him.
It at least jogs my memory, right? Like, I remember this vaguely.
Very vaguely. Like, this is somebody who was around. Like, I will say that much. Like, they were physically in the space. It was not Arabin having multiple fever dreams throughout the day.
I don't know, he seemed magical, and that coin seems magical, and he said that if I ever need him, I could use that.
Did he say what you could use him for? Like, to get out of a scrape, or to answer questions, or to pass the time?
He wasn't too clear about that, but he seemed to know more about me than I even knew about me at the time.
delightful. Sometimes to have an entity, a being, know you better than you know yourself. Yeah. Well, I take the coin and I look at it. Does anything about it stand out, Chase?
You could definitely tell there's some magic there, and it does feel to be like a similar feeling to the brooch. I will say that much, as you are getting a similar vibe, but without actively utilizing it, which you feel like would expend it, or really like doing an intense like deep dive, which would honestly require more than you are able to do out in the field. Kind of hard to say.
Sure. Using Arabin's description and the name, can I make some kind of history, knowledge, arcana?
Can he make a Jackson check?
Arcana at disadvantage.
Sure. Arcana at disadvantage, you say?
Disadvantage, I say.
Not advantage.
We're talking about an otherworldly entity that you are unfamiliar with personally.
Sure. 13.
13. There are many minor spirits, for lack of a better term. They don't necessarily align with the virtues or the guides or even, fiends or whatnot. Carrie would fall into this kind of field of just powerful beings. It is entirely possible that we are talking about something like that, something that has a duality to it. You, with a 13, though, trying to find, specific information about what exactly or who exactly this is, we're talking like low 20s to get something like that.
Sure. So it could be any number of things, Arabin. Something that has some sort of power. We could speculate on its nature, its origin, or its reach, honestly. But, I mean, this was something. I don't know what, though.
Just something I thought about. I've been racking my brain trying to think of any otherworldly beings we've encountered. Carrie for sure, possibly Ken, maybe even Altrade. I mean, dude's got to be a fae of some kind.
Allegedly.
Oh, absolutely. Confirmed fae. Yes, 100% confirmed fae. You think he's Seelie or unseelie?
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, I don't know what you get if you flip it. I mean, we don't need anything right this second. I don't know that it's going to
Yeah, I feel like if I
replace your bond, your pact.
If I flip the coin, I feel like that's a chance I only get once.
Yes, and I don't know that now's the time for that. But when is the time? When is the time?
You hear his words echoing in your head.
He said that I'll know.
Great. So is now the time?
I don't think so.
Then no, it's not. That's how that works. If you would know, then you would know, and it wouldn't even be a question.
I suppose.
Yes, it's a part of knowing who you are and what you want to be. When you don't know what you want to be, you just haven't figured it out yet. When you don't know who you are, you can't decide what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to represent. It's just because you haven't found the right thing yet. When you find the right thing, you know.
Yeah. I wish I knew who I was. You seem to have that figured out.
Well, I wish I did. We did an experiment the other day before we left, me and Harper.
What do you mean?
We did an experiment with the unspinning spinner because I wanted to see what would happen if I cut myself off from my magical abilities.
Why would you do that?
Because, Arabin Cronin, I'm very good at voices.
Yeah. What happened to your accent?
I don't have an accent. I guess I do now.
Um,
A long time ago, I didn't look like this. And I was sent here to murder and replace. Those stories about the changelings are true.
wait. Changelings?
Yeah.
Cecil, changelings aren't real.
Nope, there's only one left, and he's stuck.
No, they never were real. They're a story. I've heard the stories, but they're not true.
Some of them are. The things that go bump in the night. It's a lot, really. And sometimes you take on a form, and you're stuck in it.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I'm a changeling, and I'm stuck. I'm not even sure if I'm a changeling anymore. To be a changeling, you have to be able to change. I don't remember much of before. I became this when I was a teenager, and then ended up in Bering very quickly after, and in the Outriders very quickly after, and I've grown up all my life here. But when we found that unspinning spinner, I knew that was a chance to try to break free. I don't know what happened, but whatever locked me up, sacrificed to the Order of Time. The order that I can use to do great feats, make you run fast, magic and all that, but apparently you can't have both. So when we spun the spinner finally, I was just trying to see if maybe I could change, because that would be real useful right now. And I can, but I don't have magic when I do it. And then as soon as I get my magic back, the change reverts. Harshly. Sorry, I wanted to tell you earlier, it just wasn't a good time. It was... The last couple of days have been a little crazy, and there's either been, an amulet about Shinek, or people around our campfires, or it just hasn't been quite the right time.
Well, I don't really know what to say. I've heard stories about changelings, and they weren't good stories. But until today, that's all they were.
And honestly, that's all they still are. Because, as far as I know, we don't exist. I'm not totally sure where I came from. I don't remember that part. I know I had a job to do here, and I was supposed to become someone here, and that's about all I've got. It's been going on 50 years now.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna try my hardest to not make this revelation change how I see you. But I guess we all have secrets, and we all have a little bit of self-discovery to do.
I suppose we do. Anything for second chances, huh?
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll find it.
Well, I think this is going to be mine here. Or the end, one way or the other. No, for the record, I can't change, and I hold it. I thought maybe even if I could shorten my fingers a bit, or no, I can't. But perhaps if I find another source of magic that I am willing to take on, maybe it can live nicely with the changeling part of myself, and it won't be restrained and locked away anymore. Much like you, I would also like to find a new source. Different ways of going about it, obviously, but...
Well, I'll hold out hope for the both of us. In the meantime, think about this. There might be something to it.
Oh, I sure am. I definitely am.
And I think we can continue on.
It takes, like I said, the bulk of the morning to make your way across a fairly wide expanse of open field to the forest. On your way, it is impossible to miss Scales Right Prison. It is a monolith sticking up out of the field overlooking a cliff onto the ocean nearby. A massive, just one of the most castle-y castle buildings you have seen. A giant brick fortification, 4 huge towers, and sitting atop it, possibly decommissioned, but it's impossible to say, a giant fucking ballista. Once used to slay dragons that besought the nation. A time gone long by. As you traipse around the fields, everybody go ahead and roll me a d20. Just a flat d20. I want to see how this plays out.
9.
Okay.
18?
Okay.
15.
Okay. 9, Harper. You are utterly lost in thought. Are you riding Ignis or walking?
I'm riding Iggy.
You're riding Iggy. You notice Iggy is having a hard time navigating some rocks, and as you look down, you do straight up see just dragon bones sticking up out of the field.
Oh.
As you are in essentially just like a battlefield at one point. And Dragonbone, not terribly well noted for being a crafting material as in other worlds. It is, however, incredibly, it fossilizes incredibly quickly. So it just becomes stone. And it has become a part of the scenery here. You make it to past Scales Right and to the forest where supposedly Basil has been posted up, keeping an eye on his old captors. And you venture into the forest. Everybody go ahead and roll me survival.
14.
10.
10.
Natural 20 for a 19.
Love it.
With a natural 20, there is a moment where the forest falls all too quiet, and Harper, you're aware you're about to be stopped by something.
I think I just, not normally being the type of person to rely on instinct.
Uh-huh.
Harper gets that, that premonition, that shiver. Mm-hmm. And I think she doesn't say anything because she's too off guard by it, but the other two just see her go for her spear.
And in that moment, Harper, you go for your spear. Arabin, do you draw your sword?
Yeah, I appear it to my hand.
Cecil, do you draw any weapons, or what do you do?
Just flick the wand down into my hand.
Wand falls to your hand as 5 bandits with bows drawn just materialize from the woods around you. Hold! And we'll call it there for tonight. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find us on Blue Sky at anotherpathpodcast.com, Ryan at ralbrecht.bluesky.social, Griffin at griffcold.bluesky.social, and myself at tqloudly.com. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustJustinMichael and myself at tqloudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. And until then, remember that a friend from the past can always come back. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.